Hey everyone, Perla here. Welcome to my channel, Imperfectly Perfect. So today's video, so it's like 2 in the morning, so it's Sunday already. So Friday I had really bad day. I had a lot of little, I don't even have to call them blackouts or what the heck they were. The point was that I was trying to get myself out of bed basically, and my body was non-compliant. So ended up getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning Saturday because it's already Sunday, obviously. So I got up at 3 in the morning. I started cutting up some fruits, some meal prepping, um, cleaning, which never got done. Which got started, just never finished. Um, and every time that I felt tired enough to go take a nap, I would go and lay down and have like this burst of energy come back in, and it's like, ugh, are you kidding me? So according to me, consciously anyways, I've been up 23 hours. Now I say according to me because I do tend to fall asleep and continue automatic behavior. So basically, my brain is sleeping, but my body continues to do whatever it is that I was doing. So it's like 2 in the morning, and I feel like a toddler who is clearly exhausted and wants to go to sleep, but is fighting it off. Now, I'm not intentionally fighting it off. I've tried reading, listening to music, praying, and it's just one of those things that I really dislike. Um, when you talk about insomnia and narcolepsy, a lot of people don't get like, how can you have insomnia if all you do is sleep? All we do is not sleep, unfortunately, and um, it's just a big misconception that's all that we do. When I started looking into being diagnosed, um, what took me to the doctor, the main reason that took me to the doctor at this point was um, recurring nightmares. Now I'm talking about nightmares with sleep paralysis. So it's, your brain is waking up before your body does. And it's a terrifying thing. And because of the fact that we don't get the restful sleep, our brain, again, this is all my interpretation, our brain cannot tell the difference between reality and sleep or dream stage. So, I'm a grown ass woman. I'm 32 years old, and to have some nights where you are terrified and not wanting to go to sleep because you go to sleep and it's like the nightmares, they just come, and it's like, part of you knows that it's not real, but then the other part of you is just like, oh my god, I'm gonna die tonight. And that, like, not having full control of that, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, is probably the part that sucks the most about narcolepsy. Because we like I said, I have 4 kids, so I try to teach them not to be afraid of the dark. I try to teach them, God is with you at all time, and there's nothing to fear. But you know since the age of 4, I've had such vivid dreams and the nightmares, and it's because of the lack of rest and the constant dreaming and stuff. You start having hallucinations as well. So it's kind of like when it all gets together, it's like you're living in a freaking horror movie. And it's not one of, like, that you can kind of snap yourself out of it. Um, I'm not sure if other people with narcolepsy have had this or not, but I have the tendency that when I have a nightmare and I wake up and I can stay up for like 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, if that like fear or the emotions of the nightmare are still lingering, when I close my eyes and I fall asleep, I pick up exactly where I left off. And, I can wake up 3 times, and every single time that I go back to sleep, I freaking end up exactly where I left off. So it's like a never ending cycle of just terror. And, you know, then you start to think, like, seriously, like, I don't want to freaking sleep. I am gonna admit it, it is happening less and less, but it still scares the freaking crap out of me. Um, the first time I went to the doctor for it, I was told I had PTSD, um, from issues, I guess, that I didn't deal with at the moment when they occurred. But when I'm talking about, like, I would wake up, like, you know, I would catch myself screaming and, like, crying and stuff. And it's like, okay, you need to get a hold of yourself because the kids are sleeping and you don't want to wake them up and stuff like that. But, you know, that fear that, you know, there's something under your bed or something in your closet, and the boogeyman is very much real as when I was like a little kid. And I know it sounds insane and stuff. And, you know, but unfortunately, you know, when you have nights like that, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna kind of like sit here and try and think of something else. Because it's like then you start getting the heart palpitations, you start having just like really bad anxiety over like the fact that you don't want to close your eyes, because if you close your eyes, you're gonna freaking die. And I guess it comes more from the fact that personally, myself, again, not sure how many other people experience this. Um, when I'm dreaming, it's as if I'm awake. So I can smell different things. I can taste food. I can feel pain. I so every sensation that I have while I'm awake, I have when I'm asleep. So, you know, that also brings into effect other things as far as like food. Like there's certain foods that when I eat them, I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to taste because this is not how it tastes in my dreams. So the fact that you feel everything, well, that I feel everything, I should say, in my dreams, um, I think intensifies the fear when I have a nightmare, because to my brain and to me, it's real. So, and it's like, what kind of like pisses me off is like, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh my God, this, this girl's crazy. Like, what the heck is she talking about? But it's like, that it's not real, but it's still real in a sense because you feel it, because it is a part of, it's been a part of you since you were little. And yes, finding out what it was is a great help, because I've been able to kind of like redirect my brain into certain other things sometimes that may help, but that doesn't always work, which, it's like, sometimes we'll have days where we get up and, I'll have days like this every few months. And I get up with so much energy, and I'm like, oh my God, like I see everything clearly. I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna clean, and I start doing all these things. And then, like, I sit down and I try to write down, like, what did I do the day before? Like, what did I eat? What did I drink? So then I started keeping like a journal, for a while, of like my sleep patterns and what I was eating, what I was drinking, when I was eating, when I was drinking, to try and see that when I had another like burst of energy day or whatever, where I just felt like normal, like, I mean, to the point where I would even forget to take my stimulants. And throughout looking at my notes and stuff like that, there was never anything that was consistent. There was never anything that like popped out like, woo, this is it. This I finally found out what I have to do to be normal. Um, and I do apologize that my phone is shaking so much, and I apologize. I'm crying and stuff. But you know, the so basically the whole point of this video is like, according to me, because I have not physically laid down and fallen asleep. I have not had like, an episode where I wake up or I feel like I'm waking up in like the couch or something. I'm like, oh my God, I was doing this. So according to me, I've been up almost 24 hours without any sleep. And for whatever the reason, when I came to lay down now to try to fall asleep, this intense fear came over me that if I fall asleep, I'm going to die. Or something terrible is going to happen. So now I don't want to go to sleep. And it's like almost 3 in the morning. And yeah, who the heck am I going to call at this time? So yeah, so I'm just going to wait it out until the feeling goes away. It probably has something to do with whatever I dreamt last night, which because I can't remember. Or whatever my brain decides it wants to do. So again, this is another one of those things that a lot of us don't like to share because we don't want to sound like we're crazy, but we're not. We're not crazy. It's just the way our brain works, and we just have to kind of like accept it. And a lot of people have told me in the past, like, oh my God, you try and try and stay so positive and this and that. I'm like, well, I'm not always positive. I have to try to be as positive as possible. As possible, because I have 2 kids that are going through the same thing that I'm going through, and being their age, I wish I had some, insight as to what was going on and why I always ended up in the middle of my parents' bed every night. From these terrifying nightmares, I would run to their room and literally lay down between them. I mean, I think I slept between my parents. I was like 16, and to this day, when they come to visit, I still have like that thing, like, if I have a nightmare and they're here, I want to sleep next to my mom and my dad, or one or the other, because the girls usually take over my parents. But and it's hard for people to understand. So I guess just be a little bit more compassionate when if somebody tells you, oh my God, like, I can't go to sleep, I'm so scared, I'm terrified. Like, don't dismiss it, because you really don't understand. It's hard to understand something that you yourself haven't gone through. So that's where my feelings come about, anyways, with my nightmares. And I'm trying to laugh because because I don't even have like an image in my head right now. All I have is fear of falling asleep. But with all honesty, just be kind and open-minded to the things that you don't understand, and let's stop judging one another so quickly. You hear that? That's my dog. He's snoring. Look at Buster.